tuning into my channel. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and click this icon right here on your bottom right to subscribe. If you like this video or you just want to share it with your friends, be sure to share it. And if you want to get notified when I post up more videos, randomness, or about my hair or recipes, whatever it is, click the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications. So I wanted to hop on because I wanted to talk about something. If you are not already aware, I am Haitian American. My parents are both from Haiti, but I was born in Miami, and although I was born in the United States, I can't say that I'm African American because the culture is completely different. But there is something that all Black people all around the world do have in common. And I guess the more I grow up, I realize how tribal we are in the way that we relate with one another in our families. I don't know why this popped in my head, but I started thinking about dating, and I honestly kind of teared up because I realized that dating is going to be even more difficult for me now because my grandmother is no longer with me. She passed in 2012, and you know, and my grandmother was like the big mama of our family. She was our matriarch, and she had well over 230 grandkids and great grandkids. My family's pretty large on my dad's side, and one thing I realized, all of her grandkids and great grandchildren had a relationship with her. That being said, like, I realized, yeah, my family's huge. I always say we have a Lauriston curse. I think every Lauriston child has had a crush or liked a cousin without knowing, because our family's so big. It's really hard to figure out whose family. And I think that's why most of us were really close to grandma, because she knew exactly who was who. Like, she had everything down here. I cannot tell you who my great-great-grand aunt, second cousin to, you know, I can't tell you my lineage. When I go to Haiti, they meant just by the mere mention of my grandmother and my mother's name, everyone knows who I am. They've never met me before, but they know exactly who I am. It's like my name changes to, oh, that's Oceani's granddaughter. You know, that's Tonfaniel's grandniece, you know, stuff like that. That's how they refer to you when you're in Haiti. And I felt that same and seen the same thing happening in Black communities in Miami. I worked in Opa-locka. I spent a lot of time in Overtown. And I love how, you know, the barbershop, I feel as those movie series shows how that tribal sense of community is. That's why the barbershop is so important. I think that Black people here in the United States, that barbershop environment is the closest thing to that tribal environment if they lost it in their communities. But yeah, when I was in Opa-locka and I was getting to know the residents, you know, because I like my job, we were a community development corporation, but we worked closely with the residents, especially in my area, and hearing them talk about, you know, this woman lived on this block for X amount of years. Oh, their father owned this store. And, you know, seeing the stories and them talking about, oh, did you see Sister Maybe's granddaughter graduated? Like, everyone knows each other. I love Black people. I love that tribal aspect of us, because no matter where we are, I know a lot of comedians joke about it, like Black people, when they're in a place that's not as diverse, when they see each other, they acknowledge each other. And honestly, I didn't realize I do that until I moved to Austin. There are Black people here. They're just really out of sight. And I think the universities help it become more diverse here. But I think if UT, St. Edward's, ACC, all these other institutions, if they weren't here, I don't think I would see a person of color for a very long time. I think the fact that Black communities in general are so welcoming and hospitable kind of led to our downfall and our continual exploitation because of that. Because we always think people have the same heart and intention when they come to our communities. And historically, 90% of the time, it hasn't been the case. I don't want the Black community to grow hardened. I know there are a few of us who have gone hardened, and you know, we have reason to be hardened. I'm not gonna negate the base of those feelings. I acknowledge those feelings. I acknowledge the hate. But I don't condone it. I'm not gonna hate. I'm not gonna hate someone for doing me wrong, because it only hurts me. I'm just gonna learn from it and be more wise moving forward. So that's what the Black community needs to do. We need to be more wise moving forward, being cognizant of the fact that people will exploit things and take our hospitable nature as weakness when it is not. We're very tribal people. We are a people's people. We are a community of people. And I think, you know, I'm not even going to talk about how the sense of community has been tarnished here in the States. I don't know a lot about other communities around the world, but in the States, the sense of community, I see remnants of it still there. And I see that some of that may be lost between the older generation and the younger generation. The more the elder generation disappears, the more that tribal tradition disappears. Again, I'm going to reiterate that I think that tribal aspect of our culture has been exploited in more ways than one. I've seen it in Miami. I've seen it in Overtown. I've seen it in City of Oaxaca. I've seen it in Haiti. When I visit it, I see it. Even from here, I see it in Haiti. I also see it in other, you know, in countries in Africa. You know, I've seen it. And by no way am I saying Black people need to, you know, we need to segregate ourselves. No, we just need to be cognizant of people, Black or white, because we all know there are Black people who will sell out their own people to better themselves. I'm not going to say own people. They will sell out anybody else to better themselves. No matter what color skin, there are a lot of people who exploit other people of every race, who are from every race. And that's a different breed of people. Those are people who doesn't have a humanity bone in their body. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, y'all. And I am missing my grandma. I miss her so much. And I have one grandparent left. And I don't want to think about the day when my other grandma's gone. But I know that day is coming. Death is a part of life. She lived a very, very, very full life, as did my other grandmother. But when they die off, I feel as though pieces of me die off. Like my roots are like getting chopped off. And I'm trying my best to hold on tight to those roots. Because I don't want my kids to be born and not have roots. I don't want them to be confused. I don't want them to not know who they are. Because living in the United States today, we are constantly being reminded that we are what the country says we are. Oh, you're Black. Oh, you're African American. Oh, you're this. You're low income. All these labels. But I'm none of those things. I am just me, and I have a rich Haitian, African history. And I don't want my kids to forget that. So yesterday I went to the library, but I wanted to pick up 2 books. I picked up The History of Haiti, just to freshen up, because I know the basics like every other Haitian, but I want to see what these books say. I'm going to read more. And I had to pick up this book. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to read this for years. It's Black Reconstruction in America by W.E.B. Du Bois. Woo. And I think this is a very important book. This is going to be a book that I discuss heavy with my kids, because I see now there's been a lot of movement, especially here in the state of Texas. Texas School Board of Education. Oh my gosh, they're really trying to rewrite history. And they're trying to reframe history to make slavery not slavery, and to kind of take away the truth about what the Civil War was about. It was about slavery first, and then the states' rights second. To understand the state of our nation today, you need to read and understand why, what ideas, what policies, what things actually keeps perpetuating these institutions. So I'm so freaking excited. I'm like on page 50. It's really gonna help me, because I don't like sharing my goals with people much, but let's just say my life's dream, my dream job is to work for myself and have something going on to empower my people, not only in Haiti, but kind of rally up the diaspora here in the States and in Canada and in other places around the world. But I think the only way I can do that is to kind of understand how the United States and other countries viewed Black people and what they've done for, like, in their foreign policies and domestic policies to keep people in gridlock. So that, if you have not already read this, Black Reconstruction in America, you have to read this. Though I'm missing you, I'll find a way to get through. Living